TempahZone.
How's it going, everybody? Wherever you are listening to this podcast right here, this is episode 108 of the TempahZone podcast with your host, me, Amir Max, and that's all facts. And ladies and gentlemen, my special guest, the honorary member of the TempahZone podcast, is with me in the building right here, man. Rapper, singer, producer, engineer. My man Nick Torch is in the building. What's going on, brother?
Oh, you know, same shit, different pile.
same shit, different pile. I like that one.
Yeah, man.
You know, it's funny, man, with that intro right there. Usually, like you always give like this long intro. I was just like, man, no, it's Nick Torch in the building. So
you know what's up in my life, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that too. Like, yeah, we like frequently are chatting. So yeah, that's also very true as well, man. Absolutely, the group chat will be sending wild memes to each other.
Wild.
So, yeah, definitely memes I wouldn't like.
Out of pocket.
Yeah, there's memes that I'll send to y'all, so I don't want to like it so it doesn't pop up in my feed and shit. Do you do that? Yeah. I'm about to say.
Yeah. Because then the almighty algorithm is going to start like feeding you shit like that, and like I don't need stuff like that popping up on my phone when I'm scrolling through like Twitter or anywhere really. Like. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. The world doesn't the rest of the world doesn't need to know that I'm a piece of shit. Yeah. I try to limit.
They don't need to know how dark my humor can get.
Yeah. And what I got on the surface is already quite a bit. So if people even knew a fraction. Yeah, I'd have to leave the country.
Yeah, like, yo, you see what that Nick like, bro? Yeah. We want to pass all that shit, yo.
Yeah, it's one thing to like 12 Instagram models posts on Instagram because everyone's just down horrendously at the moment. For the most part,
there's all-time levels of horny right now, bro. It's bad. Yeah, it is bad. Like I've seen it in person. I see it on the internet. It's crazy out here, bro.
Yeah, I don't know if I can speak for everyone, but like definitely like comfort. I don't know what a comfort zone is because I've stepped well beyond the bounds.
Yeah.
What anyone would define as a comfort zone.
Yeah.
Just out of pocket, whatever. The amount of shots being shot, not just by me, but by people in general, are just like, fuck it. We got nothing to lose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. People have been locked in, bro. Yeah. They are just saying, fuck it, bro. I'm doing what I got to do. I don't care how wild this game is, how wild these pickup lines are. I'm shooting. Yeah, man. It's entertaining to see, but at the same time, you're just like down tremendously.
Yeah, it's just like, what have I become? Yeah. Hurt by Johnny Cash, just on loop.
Straight up, bro. Like just play it literally 50 times, bro. Because at this point, that'll drive you crazy just as much as how people are right now, bro. It's really serious out here, man. But that's neither here or there. What we here to talk about is that those good topics, man. Recently, Bo Burnham. We're starting it off with Bo Burnham, talking about Bo Burnham's special, y'all. This thing right here, it's not even a special. It's like a movie. It's like a little like independent type movie. I wouldn't even call it a special.
Yeah, it's definitely there's a lot to unpack here. God, I don't even know. That was
a lot of emotions watching.
It really was. No, before in the past, even with his specials, they've really just been pure comedy by design. Everything was intentional. Everything was deliberate, and it all landed and whatever. Great. But with this, like a lot of things over the last year and a half, it wasn't the usual. It was out of the ordinary. And I feel like one of the main things that he really did with this special inside is he really peeled back the layers of, on one hand, he peeled back the layers of what it is to be like an independent artist, not just a musician, not just a comedian, not just a filmmaker, not just a director, not just an editor, not just a producer.
He's all those things.
I have never, for the majority of his career, Bo Burnham has been essentially playing a character. Very, very rarely does he break the fourth wall of his entertainment persona.
And I'm glad you said that, because I was very shocked with the whole thing. I definitely knew a little bit about Bo Burnham, just because he's from Mass, and he's been doing it for a long time. But I didn't know he could get like that. I didn't know he could take it there.
Oh yeah, and that was the greatest thing. So despite everything that I just said, it was just like the vulnerability that he presented was essential for this special to resonate with everyone. And there's a reason why. You've seen all the reviews of it too. All these major people are speaking out. They're just like, thank you, Bo. Thank you. Like this, we needed this. Thank you for being you. Like, he put his heart and soul into this thing. And I know we can say that about a lot of things, a lot of artists, musicians, filmmakers, whatever, what have you. Yeah, everyone puts their heart and soul into it. We put our heart and soul into that thing that we did a couple months ago, that music video and that song, our heart and souls. But to see the level on which he laid his soul out for the world to see, that level of vulnerability, where he was like, this is me. Like, he just peeled his skin back and was like, this is just me. Whether it's funny, whether it's heartfelt, whether it's, dead serious, whether it's concerning, there were a few times throughout that where he really made it a point to, include the clips of him like losing his shit as he was trying to make this. Yeah. And I know as an artist that definitely, resonates with me. I've been there where I've been trying to do live takes of something. There was one point where he was like trying to do a thing and he kept fucking up and he was just, damn it. And then he just like knocked everything over. That wasn't scripted.
Yeah, I don't think that was either.
He wasn't playing a character. He was playing himself, and he let everyone see that, and it worked. And it worked so well. The music that he wrote for it, just the unrelenting exposure of self on his part. It was really commendable. And that's really all I have to say about that. I'm going to stop talking now so that you can talk.
Hey man, I'm just saying, like, definitely get your first piece off on this. I think this thing has layers, man. I was texting you about it. It's got layers. It's got a lot of ways you can look at it, and just off rip, one of the scenes that really hit me when I watched it, like, we not even have to mention the song just yet, but like there was the scene of him watching himself from back in the day, and the look on that dude's face, just like, damn, like,
it's being projected.
Look how I am. Like, I almost got this feeling. He was like, man, it's like I was better. And look how great life was then. And look how simpler things were. And it's like, I lost my innocence. I got all that from him. And to be honest with you, man, I really felt him on that. Like, I've watched old videos of me doing things music wise, and everyone's watching it like around me. They'll be like, yeah, Amir, like, look at you. And I'm just like,
yeah, I'm like, fuck, what happened? Yeah. What happened?
It doesn't have to be that way.
No, it doesn't. But like,
I digressed as skill wise or anything. But it's like, you just feel it. It just relates so well to artists, and I know so many artists can relate to that, where you just seeing your old self. Because I don't know what the psychology is to it, but man, it just hits. It just hits you somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, you look back and I've done the same exact thing that you just described, and that he did in that video, and it's in that special. And it's just like, you want to keep looking back and think, I'm better now than I have ever been, and I continue to level up. But some things that you did really well a few years ago, you look at and you're just like, I think that might have been the peak. Right?
Yeah.
Even though that's not true.
Yeah, it will just creep in your brain because you're just playing games with yourself. You're trying to critique yourself. And as an artist, you're just trying to look at all these things in those ways. And when that mentality creeps up, like, even if it comes to your brain for a few seconds, it's like,
that's all it takes.
It's all it takes. And it just lingers there. Yeah. It's definitely something, like, when people like, remember this, remember that. Like, when things get to that point, man, I think a lot of times, like, it can make you feel some type of way, because as artists, we're always thinking of what's next, what's coming up. Yeah,
exactly. And, in that light, it's a dangerous road to go down when you start comparing you to yourself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
that's a real slippery slope because it can go one of two ways and one of two ways only. You could use that to, say, okay, I'm comparing myself to myself, and I can use that to then, reach another level and improve myself. But then in the same light, you could do that and just discourage yourself beyond fucking belief.
Yeah.
Beyond any comprehension, just discourage the living shit out of yourself. It really can only go one of those two ways.
Yeah.
And there's so many factors that go into what decides which way it's going to go. And you really don't know until it happens, which is frustrating, but realistic.
Yeah. And I feel like it's even crazier for like when you're like an athlete, because the human body can only be so durable and so strong for so long, where it's like as an artist, like you feel like it's always there. You always still got it. There's always like in your brain, like the creativity, like that.
There's always something you can tap into.
Yeah. So I think it's even more so as like challenging for artists to look back on that old stuff. Whereas like if you're an athlete, it's like, well, I'm 35 now. I was 22 then. Like, of course I was, my physical peak then, like all that stuff. When it comes to that mental aspect, you feel like it shouldn't be the case. Like that's just the way I see it, at least. Yeah.
No, it's true. It's true. Like there realistically is no reason why we should be down on ourselves like that as artists and as creators of anything, not even just, what you would consider the arts. Just of anything, like as long as your mind is intact, as long as you haven't done anything to harm your mind over time, like seriously, like with hard drugs and excessive alcohol and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, cheers. But not.
I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean.
I mean, like legit alcoholics,
like legitimate alcoholism, like serious drug abuse. Yeah,
drink yourself and drug yourself to the point where the brain cells that you've destroyed aren't able to regenerate. Permanent damage.
Yes,
so unless that is the case, like you said, unlike athletes, your physical being, you can't undo that. Mm-hmm. When you're 22 versus 35, let's say you were at your peak at 22, you're not going to ever come close. Well, maybe you'll come close to it, but you're not going to come anywhere near how you won't be on that same level over 10 years ago. Like your body just got older. Mm-hmm. But with your mind, if you take care of it, only gets better with time, if anything.
Yeah. Like wisdom and all that, because you acquire things. Like there's only so many things you can learn over time. And I think that's why, like, that clip definitely hit different, man. Yeah, that was, like the song, and even just the songs, we just break down the songs in the special. Like, I mean, that was just so cool and so funny, him singing about like Jeff Bezos twice. Twice. I love he did that twice, because it's just calling out billionaires and, like talking about how social media is gonna, is affecting all the minds. Just he really, is hitting it, and obviously making it clear he doesn't have the answers. He's just some white guy. Like, who am I to judge? Who am I to say? It's like he's just very self-aware and very understanding. It's just
exactly, and all of that stems back to the fact that he approached this project with the utmost vulnerability.
Crazy,
and just because I felt like, and you could witness from the time you started watching it to the time that it finished, or just before it finished. So like 3/4 of the way through, from the time you started it to 3/4 of the way through, you could really see the deterioration of his mental state.
Oh yeah.
And I'm glad he included that, because that's what really made it so special. Mm-hmm. Is because it was just so raw and so real. Like, it wasn't like his previous stuff or any comedian stuff where everything is deliberately designed to evoke a laugh.
Yeah.
There were, I would say, more than 50% of it wasn't inherently funny. In fact, it was really introspective, very serious, and heartfelt, and almost a cry for help. But then what I liked about it is that it, in typical Bo Burnham fashion, he ended it on a hopeful note.
Yes.
As he's done in a lot of his stuff. Mm. But that journey from the time you start watching it to that very end, it's like, wow, I feel like I know this person.
Yeah.
And he really opened himself up so much and wanted people to see who he really is on and off stage. So, and I think everything is epitomized, you know, in that regard in the song All Eyes on Me. That I can't get that song out of my head. It's beautiful.
I think all that stuff's on streaming platforms
It
too.
is. It is.
Yeah, when I thought I was like perfect, man, because this is definitely the type of stuff that he needs to have out there. And you know, and I just love the balance between, you know, like you said, like there's a lot of serious stuff too, but like, you know, there's a lot of good things he points out that are funny, you know, just talking about like white girl Instagram and reaction channels and Twitch streamers. You know he has it out for reaction channels. You know he thinks that's the lowest grade of entertainment. You know he despises it. I think I found that funny you pointed out. I was like, yeah, I could see a guy who can do all this and as talented as him being like, man, you guys just reacting to stuff, like just does it like, and then reacts to the reaction to the reaction to the
exactly. Dude, that was fucked up. And then he timed it. Like, it was beautifully crafted, like meticulously and very beautifully crafted. Some of those skits and some of those songs were just, I can't comprehend. Like, it's one of those things. It's like when we saw John Bellion, when we were walking out of there and we were like, that was just intimidating.
Yeah, it was intimidatingly great.
That level of artistry and perfection and just uniqueness.
Yeah.
Is intimidating as hell. And I love it. You know, it makes me feel a little bit insecure, but to see someone succeed on that level to that degree, you can't help but just be like, wow, that motherfucker is just wildly talented.
Yeah, you gotta just put some respect on his name. Like, regardless if like you're not into like funny songs or like, you know, because he was definitely giving me like Weird Al vibes, like with his singing voice, and I definitely think he taps into that just a little bit. But he has obviously his own like thing to it. But even if that's not your thing, like I think you'd come out of watching this and going like, damn, that was something. That was something different. That was something different. It makes you think. And, you know, the fact once I saw like the top of it said like TVMA and so like, you know, what it said something else and then it said suicide. Then I was like, oh shoot. Like, he takes it there. And then, you know, I really, you know, tip my hat to Bo Burnham for that special, man. I think that was one of the most unique things that I've seen in a very long time. It's up there. It's up there. Like,
because honestly, you really don't know what to call it. You can't call it a comedy special. You can't call it a music special. You can't call it a drama or whatever. He created a piece of art that is in a class of its own.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like you can't, you know how the both of us love, you know, not being able to classify something by genre and still making something really good, not being able to know what to call it. This is that on just an exponential level.
Yeah,
like
I was just saying,
not even close.
Is it a special? Is it a film? What is this? Yeah, like it really,
it's life.
Yeah, it really is, man. And I think, especially with people who are content creators, like I really think this is something like we all can relate to. Like if you've been listening this far and you haven't watched the special, I don't know what else we need to convince you to watch this special. Like, especially if you're in the arts, especially if you're in that field, I really think it's gonna hit a heartstring. In some point of it, you're gonna be like, damn.
For sure. And that's the other thing. It has a little something for everyone. But I think the one aspect of it that, that everyone, not just artists, not just creators, can relate to. Everyone from all walks of life, from whatever, you will at some point throughout this thing feel more human than you've ever felt before.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a while since I just really, really looked inside myself and was like, wow. Yeah, this is us. Like, this is just. Yeah.
I think that just comes with maturity, man.
Yeah.
You know, you get older and you look at things from all angles and all perspectives, man, and having to unlearn things, having to readjust and have a better understanding of just all these things. I mean, just look at school, bro. Look how much stuff they teach you at school. I mean, we had Juneteenth this Saturday, and 3 years ago, who was celebrating that holiday? Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so many things that we are not privy to, and you don't realize that till you get older. And that's why when you get older, you just see things for what they really are, and just you have to move accordingly and figure out what's how to just manage and just how to deal with shit. Because shit's gonna happen. Yeah,
for better or for worse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, shit's gonna happen in life. Right. So you just gotta learn how to, make moves with it, and I'm not, this is, I'm no pessimist. I really am not. I'm a very optimistic person. Sometimes people say to a fault, but in my opinion, like I really feel like, I think some people, I think, at the end of the day, you just have to see things from all angles. That's just really
you do.
What? Yeah.
That's the only way to move forward. Truly, like I said, but for better or for worse, it's not always going to be comfortable. It's not always going to feel good.
No.
But you need to progress, and you need to open yourself up to anything and everything. And really, I think empathy is one of the most important qualities a human being can have.
Yes,
absolutely. Like to have a sound and just sense of empathy, and to create that sense, to really pour yourself out into every avenue, into every contributing factor. You need to put yourself out there in order to have a good sense of empathy. And like I said, for better or for worse, it's going to be fucking uncomfortable. It's going to be real fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
But that's how you mature, and that's how you get better.
Yeah, man.
It's not supposed to be easy. No one said it would be.
Exactly. No, and if they did, they've been lying to your ass. They've been lying to your ass, bro. Yeah, man. I mean, look at what this special spawned in the conversation we had. You know what I mean? That's why I was so ready, happy to talk about this special with you, because I really feel like there's just so many things you can pick from it, man. And that's what good art should do. It should make you think like, man, like what? Like it should do that to you. Like good art, Absolutely. No matter how it's delivered, no matter what the message is, it should make you come out of it like, damn, like that was something. Yeah. Unless it's like a party music video or whatever, but
especially if there's like zombies in it too. Maybe,
if there's zombies, it might make you think.
If it's a party song about like drinking and stuff, and there just so happen to be zombies in a winter wonderland.
It's like, why did they do that? It's like, think about it. All right, think about it. Damn it.
Yeah.
Understand why we took it there, bro.
Yeah. It's a social commentary, man. It's a protest.
It's a protest.
Against the norm, man.
Yeah. Calling a music video a protest that's definitely some hipster shit.
That's like different levels of balls right there. That's like having so much balls that you end up not having balls by the end of it. Yeah,
it's just like they're gone. No more balls, bro.
Oh man,
my shit's gone.
You used up all your ball points.
Yeah, sorry. Ball points. Oh man, but ladies and gentlemen, if you ain't seen the special, go check it out. Can't stress that enough. 10 out of 10 special. Would you agree? Yeah.
It exceeded my expectations, and
Oh yeah, because I never really paid attention to him like that, to be honest with you.
Oh, I did. See, that's
that's why I hit you up. I know. Nick had to have seen this shit. He
went to St. John's Prep, an all guys Catholic school. And my sister went to Our Lady of Nazareth, an all girls high school, and they always had events together. So she knew him. She met him multiple times. When he was like 16, 17. Mm-hmm. And then you see those videos and songs that he made when he was that age. And like you said, when in this special, he's looking at it and he's just staring at it, like almost with like this disdain.
Yeah.
It's crazy how far that guy's come.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, now he's leveled up in terms of,
he's a good actor too.
Yeah, I mean, he's just all around gifted, bro. He can really do it all when it comes to the arts, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he could paint. You know what I'm saying? Like, make a nice painting. Like I wouldn't be surprised.
Like how that's the next thing.
Yeah,
I bet that motherfucker can paint.
Yeah, it's like, well, okay, everything in the arts you can check off. So like, paint. What else is there?
He did everything himself. He
draw something. Yeah,
he made a whole thing in his goddamn apartment.
Mm-hmm. Like that's some serious
crazy
shit.
All right, we could talk about that shit.
We definitely could talk about it forever. Days. Yeah, we could definitely go to something a little bit more lighthearted, because that special is very heavy. But it's funny because this next topic, we had It's based on a meme I saw that I had to send to you guys about rap in 2030. And this shit just cracks me up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. You know, autotune has really gotten to this point where like no one really questions it anymore. Yeah. No one, like, for the most part, like, people are just like, it's part of the game. It is what it is. But like, that meme had me thinking like it could get to a point where we're like, all right, what the hell's going on? I mean, like,
there might be some merit to it.
Yeah, you know, like, because I mean, there's a guy out there named 645AR. And he literally raps with the squeaky voice, like, and I think he's trolling, but like, you know, he's like, I remember those days where I had the mess. I remember those days where I had, like, he literally raps like Mickey Mouse. Like, he raps like Mickey Mouse had bars, and it's ridiculous. But like, I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating, bro. It's something to listen to. Like, my jaw,
I got bars.
Straight up, bro, straight up. But instead of the haha, like, it's all that. But like,
more like,
the first time I listened to this dude, bro, my jaw dropped. I was like, I don't know if he's serious. I don't know or not, but like, yeah, man. I mean, what like, in terms of like the auto tune and like what that has done to the genre, for better or for worse, where do you think rap's gonna be from now, man? Can you even answer that question? Where would you take that?
I know where I would base it in, where I would, you know, base my response. And I feel like we've seen it quite a bit over the last, you know, decade or two, even. Mm-hmm. A lot of the popular music that we're hearing, a lot of the popular hip hop that we're hearing is very producer centric.
Oh my God. Yeah.
75% of the appeal is not the actual artist themselves. It's the person that produced the beat and organize the entire production and organization and arrangement of the song. That's like not 90%. That's like at least 75% of it now. Yeah. And so when you sent me that meme of the dude screeching over the beat, it's like, it doesn't matter what he's saying or how he's saying it, or even how the autotune sounds. It could be shit autotune. There is a such thing. You know, autotune doesn't, you know, inherently just fix things. No, it has to be targeted. It has to be deliberate. Mm-hmm. You have to know what you're autotuning. Oh yeah. And have like a goal for why you're autotuning it and how. Mm-hmm. So that's not even the most appealing part of things anymore. It's the production, it's the beat, it's the arrangement. It's, you know, people have such short attention spans now where it's just like, if it sounds good, it sounds good. Like, I don't care. So I don't know.
Very passing about it. Yeah.
But I will say though, I don't think like storytelling rap and actual lyrical hip hop and rap will ever really go away. No. I think there'll always be a pocket for that. I think there will always be Kendricks. There will always be J. Cole's. Those are just two examples from this generation of hip hop, but there will always be those, I think.
Dude, I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, you know, it is important to recognize the difference between two different types of hip hop, that being what I just said, like the Kendricks and the J. Cole's, and then also pop. There's a section of hip hop that is not really hip hop. It's just pop. Mm-hmm. You know, it just falls into that category of pop. And I think for sure, based on that meme, and I hope you play that clip at least at some point, if possible. Like, I hope you edit it into this video so people know what we're talking about. Maybe I don't know.
I have to.
Yeah.
I have to. Yeah,
it won't be It's not copyrighted.
No.
Which is great. So you can do that.
I'll shout them out. Yeah.
Yeah. Give him a watermark.
Yeah. I got him. I'll hook it up.
So and so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I already had that in mind. Yeah.
So like, I feel like that might be where pop music is heading. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if in 10 years or so that, like, you know, people said the same thing about Young Thug. It's like, he's not saying words. He's just
saying, he's barely enunciating. Yeah.
Right. But then again, like, he also used, at first on the surface, just like, wow, this is garbage. But then you actually listen to some of his music and you're just like, he's self-aware with it. He knows what he's doing. He's using his voice as an instrument, like a guitar. Like he's playing guitar solos with his voice. That's what he's not trying to be like, have like Kendrick or J. Cole level deep meaning lyrics. Mm-hmm. That's not the goal that he's trying to do. He's he's using his voice as an instrument. Which when you actually listen to it, it's just like, okay, I can actually respect that. That's actually pretty clever. But that meme though.
Yeah, it always goes back to that meme, man. It makes you think like where it could where it could go. And I love that what you said, like, that top tier rapping, that lyrical type rapping, through all the jokes that people make about lyrical rap, like that is never dying off, bro. Like all the shit that Eminem gets, and people try to troll saying they don't like Kendrick and they don't like J. Cole and blah this, blah that. Them dudes are always gonna be at that level, like always. Like you're not gonna get rid of that no matter what. Like that's always gonna rise to the top. It's always gonna be respected because the real ones know. Like that's that real rap shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
sure, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man. It's crazy how that one meme could spawn so much out of us, but like I just the way things are going. It definitely had me thinking.
Yeah, and the reason why it's funny is because it does have an inkling of truth to it. That's why it's funny, is because it's like I could totally see it going there.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's been plenty of times where I've listened to songs, I'm like, damn, that autotune's heavy. Because like it didn't just do it right or something was going on, you know what I mean? So like there's definitely been moments like that where I listen to songs and TikTok, man, they expose they really exposing the music. They really exposing the music game. Like I saw a dude just like post this things like, you ever wonder how these like random like OnlyFans girls like make these songs that sound so good? Well, here's Melodyne. I'm like, damn, bro, like don't tell people about Melodyne. Like
no kidding, right?
Keep that shit a secret. Like I've never seen
for us.
I've never seen anyone expose Melodyne like that. I'm like, that's not real. Like because even I try to like not talk about it too much because I'm just like, that's kind of like I have a weird feeling with Melodyne. Like it's almost like I feel like some people should know about it, not everyone should.
Well, it's like it's like autotune. It's like you need to a lot more calculation. You need to use it correctly.
Oh yeah. Oh, if you use Melodyne incorrectly, you're gonna it's gonna do shit like that.
Irresponsible.
Yeah.
It's like using autotune incorrectly. It's just like you just fucked it for the rest of us.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's
no, it has its place though. So.
Oh yeah, man.
It should be utilized.
Mm-hmm. I saw a video about T-Pain talking about how it was trying to reach. I think he did he's been doing a lot of press recently, but he had talked about how Usher.
I saw the same
called
thing.
him up and said like, you ruined like music for real singers, right? And like he said, like looking back in hindsight, like that like fucked him up. It gave him depression.
Put him into a depression
for years. Like,
yeah.
God damn.
But then you actually listen to that motherfucker sing, T-Pain. He has a gorgeous voice.
He sounds just as good without the autotune as with it. Like it's a
stylistic choice at that point.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. He's not. There are some people that use it because they can't sing
at all. Yeah,
at all. And it's almost. It sounds like they're not even trying. It's like how much of that is actually the autotune, and how much is that of that is your actual voice at that point.
Mm-hmm.
With T-Pain, he don't need that shit. Never needed it. It was a stylistic choice, and it became a staple. And he popularized it and perfected it, and it became, one of the sounds of a generation.
Mm-hmm.
Just that particular hip hop sound and R&B sound was pioneered by him.
Yeah. T-Pain definitely deserves his credit.
Usher's lame for that one.
Well, I mean, you can see from Usher's perspective and anyone from that generation. I mean, like, when I show like older people, my music, I realize they tend to go towards the stuff where I'm rapping. They do like the stuff where I sing, but if it's clear that I'm using autotune, they're not usually a fan of it. They don't like how it's like
part of them checks out.
Yeah, they don't like anything if that's an autotune sound. So like, I feel like it's definitely more so a generational thing. Like people our age and younger don't give a shit.
No,
Turn that auto tune up to 1,000. I don't care.
Yeah. It's just
Does
like
the song go hard or not?
I don't want it to sound like a human.
Yeah. I don't want it to sound like a human. Oh, that is so funny.
Yeah.
It sounds too human for me. turn up the auto.
There is a humanized gauge on the Antares auto.
Really? Oh, okay.
Thing.
Yeah.
So like when I'm using it in Pro Tools, when I'm mixing my own voice or even other people's, and I have my parameter set, what key it's in, how fast I want the retune speed to be. There's a bar at the very bottom where it says humanize, and it's from 0 to 100. And if you keep it at 0, Lord help you. Like
yeah, oh my god, yeah, because it won't even
ow.
Especially if you're looking for keys, like the right keys.
Sounds like SpongeBob passing a fucking kidney stone.
Yeah, man, autotune's funny like that, man.
But the humanization bar.
I didn't know that, dude. Yeah. I use like
that's what I use when I use
have on Logic. Yeah, I'd be finessing the auto tune on Logic. It's not even called.
That's
auto-tune.
a great plugin, and it comes with it.
Pitch correction. It's just pitch correction. It's simple, but like if you get your takes right, it's money. Like with all my last songs, like I don't even use the auto tune. I'm just like, yo, fam, like I did it for you. You know what I'm saying? Like I got you. Like I did it here. Like if I recorded it at with the people, then we can make those adjuments. But it's like I'm here recording to make sure things come out right.
I send it to you.
Like I'm giving out too much sauce. Like yeah, I'm gonna stop talking about the process.
Yeah. We don't want to,
We're definitely giving
little
out
secrecy. What little secrets we still have.
See, it's that TikTok, man. Yeah, they expose. I'm telling you, man. It's like it's.
Why are you giving away your secrets for free?
Yeah, it's like it's one thing if you go out of your way to figure out like that, but this shit just came up on my feed. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, like there's so many things that people could expose about the like how like music's made and things that sound so tight and stuff, but it's like. Don't do that,
Oh no, you'll ruin it not only for the other artists, but for the listeners, for the consumers. You just be like, oh, that's all it takes.
Yeah, because there's certain tricks I know where it's like you gotta pay for this. You gotta pay for the. I'm serious, bro. I've through all the episodes I've done on this podcast, there's still things I've yet to really dive into. It's like you can't give like if someone's like was like, yo, do an episode on how to like write a rap verse. I don't think I'd be too easy to just do that.
No, because it would be in your style. First of all,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, how to rap like me.
It's a subjective. It's an something like that is something that is an extremely subjective thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You could talk about basics. It's like, okay, well, we have 4/4 count. How many syllables can you fit in this bar based on but it's just like, you don't need someone to explain that to you. Or you shouldn't. You shouldn't need someone to explain that to you. Not. You should know just as a listener of music in general, you should know when something sounds right or not in terms of, like how many syllables you can fit into a bar or a couplet or a verse in general. What should a 16-bar verse sound like? You start off a certain way. It should always end with those last 2 to 4 bars being, like you should hit a certain way. Mm-hmm. Other than that, like it's on you. You gotta experiment.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta find out your voice. You gotta find out your sound. Like no one can do that for you except for you. Like,
yeah, man. Yeah, that's some real stuff. I think the one advice though I'd give out because it's out there. I mean, but I learned it from Tech 9. And it has forever changed how I write music. I'm dead serious. And he said, when I was writing songs, I would, listen to the beat and pretend my flow is a snare drum. Ooh. And just imagine just fitting syllables into that. Like, yo, that's amazing.
I heard Tech's voice when you said that.
Exactly. Like when I heard that, I was like, well, that's why you rap like a drum roll, bro. Like,
yeah. Then I got down and then I got
down. That's why. Yeah. So
exalted.
Yeah. When I heard that shit, I was just like, Eureka. You know what I mean? Like that's just
seriously.
No bull. Like so.
The song Beast off of the Southpaw soundtrack. It's like,
I don't think
I'm a motherfucking beast.
Is that Tech?
It's got Tech, Busta.
Oh my god.
Tech, Busta Rhymes, and Crooked I, or King Crooked, I think he's called now.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta hear that.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I'm surprised I never heard that one.
You don't want problems. You don't want. He's like, they never saw how the IRS hung me. My brothers stay with. Like Tech's on another level. Like this,
he can do no wrong, bro.
No.
Yeah. Speaking of T-Pain, he had a top 5, and he had mentioned Tech 9 in his top 5. I was like, good shit, T-Pain. Give Tech 9 some credit.
Yeah,
he deserves it.
That man's discography is massive.
He's an old guy. Like, I mean, he's 50. He's been in the game forever. Yeah. You know what I mean? This dude drops like 2 projects a year minimum. It's ridiculous,
bro. I'm still thinking about that snare drum thing you just said. I'm a huge Tech fan. I don't know how I never heard.
I heard this. I learned this years ago. I don't know where the interview came from, but yeah, that shit, game changer. It's like, oh yeah, well that's definitely good advice. Yeah. So I guess that's one secret sauce thing I'll give out. It's no longer a secret. So yeah, you're welcome, listeners.
Yeah.
But
that's all you get.
Yeah, but you whack rappers try to attempt that shit. See how it goes. No, I'm playing. Yeah, right? Even if I tell you, you still can't do this shit, son.
You're still trash.
We're kidding, but are we? No. Yeah, maybe not.
And then I just thought about, he has that song with Corey Taylor from Slipknot, Wither. There's one verse where he goes, dun, dun. It's like some heavy like acoustic electric guitar, and he goes, serotonin, norepinephrine, dopamine, I spilt that. And now that I think about it, it's that's pure cadence.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. It's very just like robotic like, but at the same time, it's not though. At that same time,
but
it's not though. Yeah.
Because cadence, by definition, especially like in terms of in the context of music and making music, cadence is roughly you would describe it as the punctuation of the song. Yeah. If the song was a sentence, and when you think about it like that, it's like okay, yeah. How many different ways can I do this? And then you find out there's a million different ways you can do it.
A million.
Which is what makes it so awesome and so difficult at the same time.
That's some real shit, bro. There really are so many ways to tackle it. Gotta love it, man. That's why creativity it's never ending. It's never ending, bro. There's always, different ways.
The creative process doesn't ever end. No matter how long you live. I think we've even said this before on the podcast. It's just like, you could be at the end of your life, been an artist for 60 years, say you're in your 70s or 80s or whatever. You've been an artist since you were, let's say, 10 years old, and you're in your elderly years about to die. Even on your deathbed, you still haven't reached your maximum as an artist. That's the thing about any type of art, especially music. I feel like it's like it's a constant evolutionary process. Like you're never going to reach your peak. There's no such thing, which is why, calling back to what we were talking about not too long ago, closer to the beginning of the episode, we're too hard on ourselves, and we look back at times, when we were younger, when we made certain things that really hit and that were really awesome. But like, you can't compare that to where you are now, because they're two different things that you're comparing now.
Absolutely.
What I did 5 years ago, totally different music style than what I do now. There's still elements of it, of course, but that's because everything, is constantly building on itself. And so that's why, I feel like I wish there was a way for us in our brains to constantly remind ourselves whenever we feel that seed of doubt that it's illogical to think that way. And, of course, it's easier said than done. It's so much easier said than done.
Yeah, because you got to play like mind games with yourself. You got to, psych yourself out of those dark moments where you're thinking to yourself like, oh, I'll never be, and I used to be, and I won't amount to what I think I can. I mean, it can get pretty, and get pretty wild for people, you know what I'm saying? They stay in that rut, and they don't even realize that they're just stuck there. Like, it's like,
and that you don't have to be, because there's no sense in, comparing things that aren't mutually exclusive. you know, or that are mutually exclusive. I don't know. Comparing two different things that, you know, like you're in a different place. You're in a different place entirely, just artistically, mentally. You're never going to be in the same place that you were. That's just not a thing. That's just not, that's not how time moves. That's not how human beings experience time, first of all. Like, that's one simple law of physics that you need to get your mind around if you're going to be at peace with yourself. I feel like it's like, no, you're not going to make the same shit that you made at 16, even if it was fucking fire.
Yeah.
Even if it was fire, which both of us have made awesome shit that holds up. That's the thing. That's the other thing. It kind of sucks when it holds up because that's what sows the seed.
Well, that's what can psych you out, man. Like, to this day, bro, I got a couple songs that people will still mention to me this day, and I'd be lying to you if I told you it doesn't slightly piss me off. But it motivates me like a motherfucker. It motivates me like crazy because I'm like, oh, you're still talking about that? I'm gonna make you change it. I'm gonna make your new favorite song by me that one. But sometimes it's a time and place. Like, it's when you listen to that song and what situations you were going through in your life that a song hits different. You know, there's albums and songs that hit different for me because of the time and place I was in. And so,
that's a whole nother can of worms.
That's a whole other topic.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and that's another thing that doesn't just apply to, you know, creators and artists. That's something that anyone can relate to. I feel like a lot of people, you know, that's the thing. Oh, yeah. That's a thing. Like, you know, you listen to an album, you get nostalgia. It's the same concept as nostalgia, and often it becomes intertwined. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, man.
And you know, going back to where we started this whole episode, Bo Burnham
down bad?
is a
not quite. Not in that way.
I think we said all we needed to say about that.
All
that should be said about that.
Yeah, that was an open and shut case. It have to go no further.
I feel like anyone listening would just be like, yeah, please don't retouch upon that.
Yeah,
that's not necessary. You nailed it.
Yeah,
good.
There's people down bad out here.
Yeah. No, but you take someone like Bo Burnham, especially with his special Inside. That's the name of it. I don't know why I'm doing air quotes. Yeah. That's a good example of, you know, someone that clearly was looking back and feeling like they were, you know, inferior to when they were 15 years younger, when in fact that wasn't the case. It's just different.
Exactly.
It's not better. It's not worse. It's just different. It's an evolutionary thing, like I said. And I think he, you know, in that special showed, like I said, a great vulnerability, which is what made it slap so fucking hard. And I respect the shit out of that. So
yeah, man. Yeah, you kind of have to respect creativity like that. And I think anyone that's coming out of that will definitely be inspired to create and be more vulnerable in their music.
I hope so.
Yeah, you know, because after that, it definitely, for me personally, man, I really felt like I was like, man, I could be more personal in my music. I didn't know I could really take it there if I want to, and you know, and there's power to it if you can execute it correctly. Keyword execute, man.
Exactly, and it's all in the delivery. It's all in the execution. And you know, I've made funny songs before too, like my dirty SpongeBob song. I wrote a Jimmy Neutron one that I didn't release because I was like, I didn't feel like it you know, fit my current trajectory. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like you know what? I don't think I'm going to care anymore. I think I'm just going to put stuff out, and if people like it, they like it. And every time I feel like I've done that, it's hit. It's hit its mark. Like that song, like my SpongeBob song, like. People still talk about that today, and they're just like, that was genius. That was fucking genius. I'm just like, but that doesn't, and I would think, you know, that doesn't really reflect me as an artist. People aren't going to take me seriously. But you know what? I, you know, have started to realize I don't think that matters. I don't think it matters whether people take me seriously or not, as long as they enjoy it and they, you know, tell me that was awesome. That was a good job. Like, that's so clever. Then who cares? You know, I mean, whether I'm taken seriously, that's a real use for those air quotes, taken seriously. Yeah. As an artist, you know, every, you know, it all has its time and place. So,
yeah, I think the bigger you get, and even just like in general, I mean, especially at this level, I think a lot of times people, they see you putting yourself out there, and so they might look at you and be like, oh, look at this dude trying to do this and trying to do that. But that kind of comes with the territory. Yeah. It comes with doing this. People are gonna look at you. Oh, look at this guy trying to be a big shot. Look at this guy making music. It's only particular with the music aspect. It's where people can think of you that way. Like
people are. I feel like when we were in high school, like when we first met, we were still like feeling our way around. What we wanted to do musically.
Yeah,
we were like 15, 16 years old. I remember on both fronts, both with your peers and my peers, BC High versus Zavarian, whatever. There were plenty of people that were supportive, but there were a lot of people that were just like haters for no reason. Like they were just like, what is he? Who's he trying to be? But they didn't stop to think that I'm not trying to be anyone. I'm just trying to be me. Like I'm trying to do my own thing. People don't, at first realize, what people like us are trying to do. We're not trying to be anyone or copy anyone per se. Yeah, sure. You take influence from
of course,
your idols and whatever. That's normal. Everyone has done that. But I feel like now that we are, at a point where we are, people have, a while ago realized, what they weren't fucking around. They were actually working towards something. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's going to watch this episode, but there's a kid that we both knew in high school who I never would have thought would actually, genuinely be invested, in what we do, especially with the podcast, with our music and stuff. And he sent us that DM on Instagram. And that was actually really surprising.
He enjoyed the episode. Yeah.
And he's like, I love that you guys keep it real. I love that, you guys are hilarious. You just riff really well. And he was one of those people, which I guess, is a fault in my character, cause I would have never thought that, just based on who this kid hung out with in high school. Not that I have any problem with those people. I just wasn't expecting it.
Of course. Yeah. No.
But no, that's,
let you know,
just keep doing what you're doing. Cause you never know. You never know.
Yeah, man. I think, in this, nowadays you can find the people that have the same interest as you, who are into the same things that you are, what you want to do. So with anyone, just express yourself, show yourself for who you are. Don't hide in what you think people, what you should be. You're never gonna live up to like people. You're never as good as they say you are. You're never as bad as they say you are. So I think at the end of the day, you just gotta go and just shoot your shot and be yourself, man. And I think when you're younger, it's hard for people to see that, like, oh, like this is what they do. And like, with rap, man, I think I said it before on this podcast. People see, you trying to be a rapper. Oh, he's trying to be the next Jay-Z, he's trying to be the next Drake, he's trying to be the next Eminem, he's trying, like they think you're
Miller.
They think you have delusions of grandeur,
right? When that's not the case, when that's just not the case.
It's like, I just like making music and I want to make a good living off of it. Is that too much to ask? Like, y'all gotta think like 50 different things about me? What you do for a job? I don't think about that with you. You know what I'm saying? Like
just take it at face value.
Yeah.
Just take it at face value. Like it is what it is. Like it's I feel like we're not creating those other possibilities. It's people coming up with them themselves.
And exactly.
It's people that aren't open-minded, and it's people that are younger. And, and I, like I said, like what I just mentioned a few minutes ago, like at that age in high school, it's to be expected. But I feel like now, at this point, my mid-20s and our mid-20s, our peers are also, more mature than they were and more open and have more life experience and not so quick to shoot things down. It's a mutual understanding. I mean, the relationship between artist and, listener, viewer, consumer, whatever, it is a two-way street. So, it hits and it misses. So.
Yeah, man. When it
is what it is.
Yeah,
nature of the beast. Nature of the beast.
When you're in when you're in a business of expression, you can love it, you can hate it, but you just gotta respect. Like, this is what I do. This is who I am. This is what I'm going for. And like I said, in the field of expressing yourself, like that's when people tend to look at you crazy because, you know,
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
man, some
Yeah.
people can't put themselves out there like that. Like, you know, there's people who don't mess with social media, but like us, we have to be on there. We have to show ourselves pouring out emotion and talking like this. Like, you know, like all these episodes I've done, man, I'm like, damn, if people tune into every single one of these episodes, they really gonna learn who I am. They're gonna learn.
It's a journey.
It's gonna be like, it's crazy to think about. It's really weird. And I thought about that to myself. I'm like, damn, yo, like someone really could have seen who I am. Like if I didn't have this podcast, like there could have been someone out there who would have, you know, liked me at first, but then they watched a few episodes and just hated me, and vice versa. Like stuff like that. But that's the risk to take when you're doing this shit. Like you're putting yourself out there. So be ready for whatever comes with it. Be ready. Like it, you know.
And it's important. And off of that, it's important to acknowledge that, you know, like objectively, they're really like in this large umbrella of artistic expression and creation, there is no right or wrong. So it's hard for both the viewer, like a consumer, and the artist themselves to gauge what is right or wrong, what is good and what is not, because there isn't.
Yeah.
There just isn't a baseline. It's subjective.
One man trash is another man's treasure.
Exactly.
So it's like, if you might hate something and cannot for the life of you see how people like it, but then there's a whole bunch of people out there who are vibing with it, loving it, and going with it.
And then even if you don't fuck with it, it's like you have to acknowledge that clearly, even though it's not for me, clearly it's working for a lot of people. So even if that's why I say, like, I don't like the country pop music that comes out today. I like classic country music like Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, and all that shit. But like
a lot of people make fun of country pop.
It's like, I personally, I feel like I see right through the BS of it, but clearly there's a reason why it's called pop. It's popular music. You know, clearly it has its audience. So I respect the people that make it and know what they're making. Like they're setting out to make that on purpose. They're not trying to be, you know, some just artistic juggernaut that is speaking profound words. No, they're just making country pop music. And you know what? If they do it and they know what they're doing and it's deliberate and they do it well, even if I don't like it, I can at least acknowledge and respect that they're good at what they do.
Yeah. That's all you got to do, man. And it's weirder when artists don't think that way. Like it's really weird. I'm like, you know the process, man. Like, how you gonna shit on these songs and shit on a certain type of genre? It just it's weird to me. Like for me, like I've learned to respect all genres. Like
me too.
Like I was thinking about opera the other day, and I'm like, I could see why someone would like this.
Shit's hella impressive.
Yeah, and even like
physically,
metal.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like death metal.
Love metal.
Like you hear that shit, and you're just like, wow. That's some impressive shit. Even though when I hear some of it, I feel like I'm gonna have nightmares just because like some of that shit just sounds.
It's just like no. It sounds like noise on the surface. Like I was listening to Slipknot the other night, and 5 minutes beforehand, I was listening to Funkadelic, which is funk music from the 70s.
Yeah, that's a transition.
Total opposite. Like not even fucking close.
Yeah.
And my mom walks by my room. She's like, "What is that noise?" I'm like, "It's Slipknot.
Yeah,
it's awesome." It's fantastic music. I'm really appreciating it. I'm listening to like the instruments and everything, and just the vocal ability of Corey Taylor. Even though it's screaming, it's not just yelling. There is a method to it.
Oh yeah, it's all calculated.
And my mom was like, "That's not music," and I was like, "Ma,
don't say that." Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You might not like it. It might sound like noise to you, but listen to it for more than 2 seconds and you're like, there's a lot of moving pieces here. And obviously it's music because they're one of the most famous bands of our generation.
Oh yeah. Slipknot is damn near goated at this point, man.
Oh, for sure.
What I'm saying? They're up
and they crossed over into hip hop with Tech Nine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Several times. So like
they've done several songs with
you can't say that's not music.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's like that with rap, bro. I mean, for years, people are like, oh, they're not singing.
They're just saying words.
They're just saying words. I dare you. Dare to rap a 16.
Immense amount of skill that comes with rapping.
Yeah, I dare you to start your verse off as a rapper and don't say my name is. I mean, my name is. It's like, man, you don't know how hard, yeah, you don't know how hard that's not a bad Seth Rogen laugh. I can't do that. Oh man,
it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but man, it's all that stuff, man. It's funny you mentioned how like we just kind of can just flow with the podcast, man. I had a whole bunch of topics, but
I fucking lost track of time.
I know, I don't care. I think we addressed a lot of dope things on here, man.
Sure.
And, I think I love when we do these collab episodes, man, because I feel like there's always something that we show out about the music game that I like, letting people know, man. I think people should be more aware of what goes on into it. And I think if they look at it the way we do, they can understand that like what it takes to do these things. And you can change your mind from it, you cannot, but at least I let you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like
welcome to a journey into my ill mind.
Yeah. Oh, Hobbs,
that shit.
Hobbs is controversial.
Oh God.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about another person that does 100% of the shit themselves.
Yeah, he's definitely another example.
Director,
of that, man.
all that shit.
He always used to get the corny label and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he kind of earned that a little bit, and he knows it though. But he owns it though. He owns it. No. So like, you can't say he sucks because it's just like like I said, like he's doing exactly what he is intending to do.
Yeah, no, he's got his agenda. He's got his fan base.
Exactly. It's an agenda. So
he's got his place, man. So I think I would never say nothing bad about Hobson. He was a big influence of mine when I was younger. I still me too. I still mess with Hobson. Me too. I have all the respect for him, but he definitely got that, he's very you'll get a reaction from someone when you mention Hobson. Like they know who he is, but it's like they might be
like, it's either or just like he's fucking
Did
whack.
You just say Hobson? Yeah. So
that man is whack.
Yeah.
No, he's not though.
See, that goes back to what I was saying though, man. It's just like there's certain artists where it's just like you mentioned Young Thug and like you were saying, you didn't like his stuff, but it's like you can't say that about Young Thug. Like you can't say that stuff about Hobbs. Like,
there's no one else like him.
Yeah, there's no one else like those artists in their own world. They have their own fan base. Like they're going nowhere. Nowhere.
When you think about it,
think
really
about why that's the case. Yeah.
Right. Because you think, they're a dime a dozen. They're just another industry, like either an auto tuner or like a shit talker or whatever. But it's like there's a reason why you say that. You think that's the case until you actually think about it. And you're just like, wait a second. They are actually kind of like one of a kind. Exactly. They really aren't like anyone else. It's easier to say, they're a dime a dozen. But once you actually start to peel it back and you're just like, wait a second, there really isn't anyone else I could compare them to. You'd think there is at first. Before you actually think about it, you're like, I'm sure I could come up with a million other people that I could compare to this person. And as soon as you start trying to do that, you realize, wait a second, no, there's not.
Yeah.
Just being real with yourself and real with everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's hard to do. It's not easy.
So freaking hard to do.
To be in 12 different perspectives at the same time and still, try to come out clean, and that's putting it broadly. But,
but I mean, I
know what I mean?
No, you get the point across with that, man. I feel you there, bro. I really do, man. But yeah, bro, shoot. We're a little bit over an hour on this one, man. We did our thing on this episode, man. Before I definitely want to ask you one more question before you go, though, man. Like what you got planned music wise, though? Do you have a trajectory of what you want to do or what you don't want to do going forward? Like what's your
I don't know about don't want to do. Yeah. I'm at a point right now where I'm really busy with work. My name is Chef.
You've been chefing it up, man.
Yeah. That's one thing I want to touch on. I love cooking, so I've been cooking at work. Man. Making some meals. But aside from that, I don't know. I'm in one of those, I wouldn't call it a rut. It's not a rut. It's part of the creative process where I'm in one of those stretches where I'm studying, essentially. Like I'm listening to things that I like and things that I want to draw in. Excuse me. Draw influence from one of which being All Eyes on Me by Bo Burnham. Beautiful song. Like I want to, so I'm in that absorption phase where I'm absorbing all these different influences, and that is part of the, decision process of, how I want to move forward, what type of music I want to make next, because you know me, and you do the same thing. That's why we have always worked well together. Absolutely. Is that we never try to do the same thing twice, and if we do, it's broken up by a period of doing other things. Mm-hmm. Even if we eventually end up doing the same thing again, it's like it's not two in a row.
No, absolutely not.
Like it's not a rock influence song back to back with a rock influence song. It's maybe a alternative rock influence song, and then like a pure hip hop song, and then like a weird electronic song, and then just like. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. So I'm in that phase of deciding where I want to go. I certainly have a lot in the chamber, ready to be cocked back.
Yeah, you just
trigger pulled. So
nah, man, you sound like you're just waiting for the right moment. And I think more artists need to do that, man. I feel like I see some artists. I'm like, yo, you're doing too much, bro. Just relax, chill. Like they forget about you. Like I promise you, don't force it. you know, like,
exactly.
Let it be when it happens. I promise you. Like give it time. Look at Bo Burnham.
Right.
Man, it took his time. He had to process shit. Like obviously he's well established. He's in his, but regardless,
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter
how
big your audience is, is compared to someone like him. I still have an audience. It's just nowhere near his.
Yeah,
but I still have an audience.
Exactly, and that's all that matters, and it's all to be grateful for. Because
exactly.
Some people have nothing. They can't get any because probably because the shit's trash. But you know,
who am I to judge?
No. There's some people I see them doing their thing, and it's like it's not.
They're not
unless you don't improve, buddy. It's not gonna happen.
But that's the thing. They're usually doing another person's thing.
Yeah, well,
trying to They're not trying to be their own person.
It's like you ain't about this life, buddy.
No.
Oh man, yo,
enough copycats as it is.
Nick, let's not go another 30 minutes, bro.
Oh god.
Yeah, right. Oh man, that's too funny. Right. Yo, Nick Torch, it's always a pleasure having you on, man.
Always a pleasure being on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We'll definitely make it happen another time, man. When it's accordingly. Next time we do this, we have to do it in person, one way or the other.
Oh, absolutely. That one we did at my house right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
With the table set up, that was a great episode.
Oh yeah.
It looked great. So I think,
yeah, we'll make it happen one way or the other, yo.
We know what we're gonna do.
Exactly. It's gonna happen one way or the other. But yo, man, I really appreciate it, bro. Anything else you want to drop before we get out of here, bro? Anything you want to say to the people?
Stay positive. We're on the other side of this whole pandemic thing.
Still not over. So yeah, it's
still not over. But we're on the
it feels over, but it's not.
Yeah. We're on the other side of it. Things are getting better. So I would say stay positive. I don't know. Just enjoy art, enjoy life as much as you can, and try to be open-minded, try to be empathetic, and keep on keeping on.
I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah.
That's episode 108 of TempahZone Podcast, y'all. Make sure you tune in next week for another episode. All righty. Peace out.